Hello, today we're going to make banana and toffee cake or banoffee cake. So here are the ingredients for the cake. 200 grams of margarine. I've actually put it in the microwave for a few seconds because it makes your life a lot easier if you're not using an electric whisk. 200 grams granulated sugar. You can use caster, I always use granulated. And a teaspoon of poppy seeds, they're optional. They make the cake look nicer. 3 eggs, 200 grams of flour, sift it if you can be bothered, and 1 ripe banana. It can be riper than this, it can be almost black, which needs to be mashed. And I do that first so that it has a chance to sort of sit and soften a bit. But you don't have to mash it to a pulp. That's good enough. Oven on at 180 degrees. If you've got a non-fan oven, then you're looking at more like 190 degrees. And the shelf in the middle of the oven, like that. So preheated, make sure it's up to temperature before you put the cake in. And lastly, you need a 2-pound cake tin with the matching cake liner, which is parchment. You don't need to grease if you use parchment. Greaseproof, don't go near greaseproof. Just either buy a roll of parchment and fit it to the tin, or these normally come the same place where you will buy your tin. And so we can start mixing it. You can obviously use an electric whisker, but I'm using a spatula. Make sure the marge is really soft, room temperature, or even a bit warmer. You can stick it in the microwave for a few seconds. I've had this by the fire, so it's come together very easily. Use a wooden spoon if you prefer. And as you beat, the mixture will go pale, which is what it should do. Don't know if you can see that. That's good enough. Then add your 3 eggs. I beat them into I break them into a separate bowl to catch the shell if there is any. Put them all in together. No need to add them one at a time. And it will look like it's curdling, which it is, but that's fine, doesn't matter. That looks fairly unappetising, doesn't it? But it'll all be fine. That's good enough. Shove the flour in all together. And it will turn into a fairly stodgy batter mix, which will then loosen up when you add the bananas. They go in all together. There you go, done. There's a bit of flour there, it won't matter. Good enough. And it's as easy as that. You don't need to spread it around, it'll all do that in the oven. And that goes into your preheated oven for 55 minutes. Be very careful not to peep and open the oven before 55 minutes, or disaster, it will flop. So this is the icing, which you can make while the cake's in the oven. Some people call it frosting. It's 30 grams of butter, very soft. I've put this in the microwave for 5 seconds. 100 grams of cream cheese or soft cheese, and that's been at room temperature, which makes the mixing easier. And that's 300 grams of icing sugar, which seems an enormous amount, but seems to boil down to nothing. So start off by putting 1 spoonful of icing sugar, I haven't bothered sifting it, into the butter and mix it round. You can use an electric whisk for this, but I'm just doing it by hand today. And that will come to a sort of stiff paste, like that. And then add all the cream cheese. Mix that in. Very quick this, take a second. Like that. And then you can tip all this icing sugar in together. Just go easy on the speed of your mixing, or your icing sugar will whiz around the kitchen. So it's slowly at first. And this will take you a couple of minutes, just going slowly round and round until it's all sorted. Okay, there we have it. Done already. This cake has a yummy toffee sauce which you drizzle over the top once you've iced it. And so in the saucepan altogether I've got 20 grams of butter, 25 grams of golden syrup and 30 grams of demerara sugar. And I'm going to put this over a low heat and stir it with a wooden spoon. So we've got a very low heat here, and I'm going to melt the sugar and the butter and syrup. Don't let it boil too soon. Just keep stirring. This whole process is going to take you no more than 5 minutes, but just go slowly to begin with. Just see it slowly melting there. Keep stirring all the time, because the butter can separate if you're not careful from the syrup and the sugar, but it won't if you keep mixing it together. I don't know if you can see that clearly. And then it'll slowly come to the boil, and then you need to just watch it until it starts to turn, and then that's done. So you can see now it's just beginning to bubble, and so we'll let it bubble away there for a minute or so. And it'll go nice and frothy and a sort of spongy look, and that will be perfect. So here's the cooled cake, and there's the brilliant parchment. Hasn't stuck at all. So tip all your icing in one dollop onto the cake, and I just use the back of the spoon to spread it. More. So here's the hot toffee sauce. I've taken it straight from the saucepan, put it in a jug, so it's slightly easier to pour. And then I'm just going to go backwards and forwards and tip it over. There we go, absolutely delicious. So here we have the finished banoffee cake. I'm just going to cut you a piece so you can see what it's like on the inside. Absolutely scrumptious.